Hey guys, it's DarudeLeafStorm here, and I'm here with playoffs round 1 of UNPL. We are taking on Trey and his average Joes in playoffs. So, just to kind of catch you guys up, wow, my webcam is going kind of crazy. I think it's because of the light. I'm not sure. If it carries on, I'll just close the blinds. But anyway, yeah, so we're in playoffs. If you saw last week, we took our first L against Xander, thanks to an unfortunate overheat miss. But, you know, we still made playoffs. We still made top seed in our division. The only person that beat us out was Steven in the KirotoGodz division. So overall, I think we did pretty well. We had a solid season. So yeah, very happy. And going into this, we actually were the second person to be able to pick our opponent. So basically how UNPL playoffs scene works is that basically the top teams, I believe it was the top 8, something like that, got to pick their round 1 opponents for playoffs, which is really cool. I like that. So there was a lot of people on the board that I really wanted to play. Dashing was one of them. Nova was another, but I believe Nova got picked by Steven round 1. As I just really get on with Nova, and Dashing is someone that I've not really had a proper game with yet, and someone that I've been in quite a few leagues with, and yeah, he's a really solid player, and he made playoffs this season after a rough start, so very proud of him, looking forward to playing him. So yeah, Dashing was on the cards, and then last but not least was out of my picks, Treyunt. So Trey is someone that I've really got to know. We're in a few leagues together. We're in a couple of communities together, a couple of servers, and he's just a really nice guy and someone's videos that I actually fully watched throughout. He's a very solid battler. He's in a crazy amount of leagues, however, a crazy amount. I think he's in like plus 10 leagues at once. It probably is even more than that. I think he's in like 4 Wi-Fi leagues, and I'm like, I barely have time for 2 at the moment, so I don't know how this man is doing it, but I thought I'd maybe use this to my advantage. So I played Trey twice. I've beaten him both times. Sorry, Trey. And yeah, like I say though, Trey's a really solid battler and someone that I didn't pick him because I knew it would be an easy task. He's got a very solid team in UNPL in the KirotoGodz division, and I knew this was going to be a tough task ahead of us. But Trey's the man, so he's going to be our round 1 opponent, and I thought I couldn't start playoffs in a better way. So I'm going to run through the team that we brought for playoffs because, you know, it's kind of a funky one. I mean, it's not, but it's very solid into Trey's team. You see my team on the left, you see Trey's team on the right. Trey's rocking Dragapult, which is one of the better offensive Sneasler checks out there, which is great for me, having the Sneasler. Got Terapagos there, a mon that is just really scary with its ability and heavy duty boots. It's a very terrifying mon and can set up very easily. Obviously got Iron Hands, good old Amy. Love me some Amy, and I'm scared to face her this week. We got TERA MUNKIDORI with poison fighting and ice. Very solid mon again. Got Azu. Very scary mon. Got Mamoswine, offensively just a threat. Dugtrio, which actually does okay into my team. It's not the worst mon. It could definitely come. Thwacky, so Baby Rillaboom. You know, we got Rillaboom versus Thwacky moment here. Heatran and Mabostiff, TERA. So, looking at Trey's team straight away, it's scary, right? It's a scary team. So I didn't know really what to go into this. I had a couple of sets in mind, and I'm going to be completely open and honest here. I went back through all of Trey's UNPL videos and scouted what he brought every week, and I found out that he brought like Willow Rocks Heatran like 4 or 5 games. He brought Sub Willow Pull like 3-4 games. He brought like Scarf MUNKIDORI like probably three games. The rest were boots. Mamoswine, I can't remember actually what he brought on Mamoswine. The couple of times he brought it. So I kind of had an idea of what to go into with this game. He brought the Sapsipper Azumarill quite a few times. I think he brought it like 2 times throughout the season, which is a decent amount. And you know, I've got a Rillaboom, so I was definitely expecting that again. But yeah, I think going into that could be my downfall, or it could be a real saver for me, as I am going to prep more so for those sets rather than anything else. Obviously, I'm going to have answers for everything else. However, I think him bringing it 4 or 5 times in a season is kind of like his go-to. And me knowing that Trey's in a lot of leagues, I'm thinking maybe he's just going to stick to what he knows. So yeah, let's head into this team builder here. First off, we've got the Lumberry Palafin. Rocking Jet Punch, Ice Punch, CC, and Flip Turn with max attack, near enough max speed, and nature with 8 HP. Yeah, this mon overall is just very solid. It's got enough speed to outspeed Terapagos if it's max speed Timid, which is lovely, and I get my Adamant Nature for those boosted attacks, because Palafin is very strong into Trey's team. The only things that really like take it on is like a defensive Azumarill, which I can see it coming, like a Helmet Azumarill with Perish Song. I think it beats sub bulk up Palafin. Obviously Palafin's still really strong, and if I was banded it would still do a lot, but I'll be taking a lot of damage back. So, and I don't think it's a really banded matchup. I think late, unless I leave it really late game, I think banded would work, but I went with the Lumberry this week. I thought it was really solid into a lot of what Trey's been bringing. Obviously, he's got the Heatran, which I was going to run Protective Pads for, but I thought overall Lum was better. It can kind of bait the Dragapult if he wants to go for a Whisk right away. And I can get an Ice Punch, and then Ice Punch into Jet Punch actually kills a lot of Dragapult spreads, which is really solid. And yeah, I think overall this set's really good into Trey's team. I think it can really put in a lot of work. And like I say, the only things that really threaten it are like defensive Azu. I mean, Azu in general, really. Thwacky. And that's really it. Like an Amy that can kind of come in for free, obviously. Other than that, he doesn't have a tremendous amount for this. So I definitely see Palafin putting in a lot of work this week, and hopefully the Lumberry saves me out. We can see how we get on with that. But next up, we have got Jingles, the Wigglytuff. We're rocking the Rocky Helmet this week, and finally, another Wigglytuff matchup because there's a Dragapult on the opposite team. So we're rocking Helmet with Frisk, rocking Alluring Voice for sub Dragapult, which he has been bringing, like I said. We got Reflect, Thunderwave, and Baton Pass. Basically 3 filler moves. I wanted Alluring Voice and BP, definitely. The last 2 moves I really like kind of got myself between, because to be honest, I don't see myself clicking any other move apart from Alluring Voice or BP. But I went for Reflect, which maybe should have been Encore. I think Encore was also fine here. And then T-Wave, just to kind of slow down some mons that I potentially need for the end game, just in case I click it. I'm rocking Max Spadef, Max HP. This is to take on a Specs Pult 2, just in case that comes and starts getting a Specs Fire Blast. But also I punish Physical Pull / just U-turn and pull with the Rocky Helmet. So yeah, a really solid Dragapult check, one of the best out there. So yeah, that's why Wigglytuff's here this week. So yeah, I think it's the 2nd time I'm bringing her, which is lovely, you know. Welcome back, Wigglytuff. Welcome back, Jingles. I think I brought her, what week was it? It wasn't week 1, was it? Week 2, something like that. It was when I faced, who had Pull? It wasn't Tony, was it? I can't remember who had Pull, but I brought it versus them. Next up, we've got Forry holding the Leftovers with Sturdy. Got Thugs, Spikes, Volt Switch, Rapid and Body Press, Max HP, Max Defense for Special Defense. Pretty standard Forry set. This set is to take on Mamoswine. I don't get to it KO'd by Mamoswine, and I think unless he's like Adamant Banded, I think even then it's like a roll of some kind. But yeah, we take on most Mamoswine sets, if not all. We also can switch into, obviously, Amy, the Iron Hands. We can switch into MUNKIDORI if he doesn't outright click Focus Blast, which is nice. And obviously we don't get punished by Toxic Chain, which is also really nice. We switch into Thwacky, a lot of forms of Dugtrio 2s, and obviously Azu. So it's my physical answer this week. Trey's got a lot of physical checks, a lot of physical threats, sorry, not checks. He's got a lot of physical threats this week, so I thought having something like Fori would be really nice. I'm running like not a lot of speed. I think I'm running min speed just to get those slow pivot vault switches out. It's annoying. I really wanted to run Helmet to kind of punish Thwacky a little bit, but it's one of those, like, I needed the leftovers to potentially take 2 Mamoswine hits. I think that's more important than taking on Thwacky when I've got Sneasler. So, yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Fori's going to be the backbone of the team this week. Next up, we have got the Sneasler. That's why I didn't feel bad about spoiling it for you guys. But we're rocking a set I've not brought yet. We're rocking the normal gen fake out with Unburden. I've not really been rocking Unburden much this season. However, we're rocking it now. I think I've only brought it like once before. CC Dialclaw, Shadowclaw. This is my Terrapagos like bail. It's my bail in case Terrapagos gets a bit crazy and wild, because that mon is very scary, like I said, and I'm not looking forward to facing it. So yeah, so we got the fake out to break the Terra Shell in case Trey wants to leave it until very late game, which I think is really solid into my team. Yeah, so if I get on my hazards and then he has boots, I can pop the Terra Shell with the fake out and then proceed to kill it with CC. If he's Choppleberry, normal gem fake out will do a lot after rocks, because obviously the Terra Shell goes. So I think either way I cover a lot of Terrapagos sets, and then after the CC, if he is Chopple, he's in range of Jet Punch from Palafin. So either way, I think I could deal with a lot of Terrapagos sets this week. Yeah, I think this set in particular deals with a lot. Sneasler outspeeds a lot of his team naturally as well. I think everything, actually, apart from the pull, obviously, we outspeed. So it's only like Scarf MUNKIDORI, which, to be honest, I'm expecting. I think it makes sense. I've got a Sneasler. Why would you not bring Scarf MUNKIDORI? So yeah, CC Dialclaw and Shadowclaw is just coverage. I was going to go U-turn, but honestly, didn't really need it. He's got a Heatran. I don't really want to be U-turning him, switching into Heatran on an aggressive play and then burning me. So I think just having these 3 moves overall covers my options really well. It covers pull, covers a lot of things with Dialclaw like Azu, Thwacky, and just obviously the effects that Dialclaw has is a really spammable move. And then CC hits a lot of Trey's team really hard, obviously being Terrapagos, Hands, Mamo, Dugtrio, Mabostiff, Heatran. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Rhea this week. I think she can really put in a lot of work, as she has been doing the entire season, to be fair. Next up, we've got the return of Crowler, our Braviary. Sharp Beak, Esper Wing, Roost, Agility this week. We're rocking max special attack Modest with 40 HP, 40 defense, and 212 speed. This is enough speed to outspeed Pull at +2, obviously after the after the agility. I think this mod, I mean, to be honest, Hurricane is the only button I really need to click. I think if I get an opportunity where I can click Esper Wing, this one could just sweep Trey's team. It's really solid into Trey, and it has been for me this entire season, to be honest, in terms of a breaker. I think I've really enjoyed using Braviary. I think it's one of the best special breakers you can have, to be honest with you, and I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss this mon a lot, but we're rocking the Terra Flying this week, Hurricane. It just hits so hard. As long as I hit it, which, you know, I've had a bit of a 50-50 thing with it this season, but if I hit it, it does a tremendous amount of damage. I believe it barely misses out the KO on Spadef Heatran, the 2-hit KO. But I'm thinking I can click Hurricane into Esper Wing into Hurricane again, and that kills Heatran. So I think I've got a lot of potential with this mon this week, and I'm excited to use it. Very excited. Obviously, stuff like Shard from Mamoswine is really terrifying. I'm not looking forward to that at all. It obviously threatens this mon, but I have got the Fortress in the back, which, you know, can punish those shards a little bit by, I can potentially get up a spike, I can get a slow vault switch off, predicting a switch, or I can just get a straight up body press off, which will do a tremendous amount to Mamoswine. Any set too, which is nice. So yeah, this mon's here to break Trey's team apart and hopefully set up for a little Sneasel or Palafin late game, which is nice. It's kind of been how I've been using it all season, to be honest. But yeah, and you know, Esper Wing and Agility are both there in case the setup opportunity comes along. So we'll see. Last but not least, another kind of glue to my team is Lady Tings the Tingaloo. Rocking the eject button this week. Rocks Earthquake Ruination Memento. Rocking 176 attack Adamant with Earthquake. I believe this was enough to it KO hands. It might be something else actually. It might be pull. Yeah, I think overall I was looking at Trey's team and he really struggles with ground types. Just as a whole thing. Obviously not having a flyer type really struggles with that. But yeah, I thought bringing offensive Tingaloo this week is really solid. It's a bulky enough mon anyway where it can take the hits that it needs to versus Trey's team. And yeah, I think obviously if he doesn't bring Thwacky, EQ's so spammable into his team. Incredibly spammable. If he does bring the Thwacky, a little bit less so. However, you see the eject button on my Tingaloo. My idea into most of Trey's like 6 he can bring is to lead with Palafin, bring in my Tingaloo with my eject button, and in a lot of cases I can then bring in Braviary, click Terra Flying, click Hurricane, and net a kill. But we'll kind of see how that gets on, but that's the very general idea. Is that I want to get my Palafin into hero form. Trey's team is very offensive, so I think otherwise I'm going to really struggle getting that without this combo. So we shall see how we get on. So anyway, that's the team for you guys. Sorry, I've been rambling on a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the team builder, and I'll see you guys in the battle. Enjoy. Hey guys, it's DarudeLeafStorm here, and I'm here with UNPL Round 1 playoffs. Now, you see the setup, you see what's going on, and I'm going to explain everything right now for you guys. Basically, you see that me and Trey are battling on Showdown. And this is because, basically, I had a very busy week this week of playoffs for UNPL. I was in London from Friday to Sunday, and therefore did not have access to my Switch. Now, thinking about it, I probably could have brought my Switch with me, but then I wouldn't have had a recording for you guys. So I kind of wanted to get the battle done before then. So going into this week, obviously I picked Treyunt as my opponent. Matchups didn't get finalized for this week until the Tuesday. However, I did know Trey was my opponent because I picked him. So immediately we had Tuesday to Thursday to get this match done. Which, you know, is not a lot of time, and Trey is like the opposite time zone to me. I think he's EST, which is like 5 hours behind me, which is usually not an issue, right? It's usually not, but Trey also works complete opposite shifts to me. He was working a lot of lates as we were setting up battles and trying to figure out a time. And yeah, it's just been overall a really hectic week. So basically, we had scheduled to kind of battle like, I think it was like Wednesday, Tuesday, as kind of a like a win, kind of just see where we were both at and see if we can get stuff done. I think Trey had a couple of battles already scheduled, or yeah, and you know, it was a busy week at work for me as well. So anyway, we then rescheduled to Thursday. I don't think we was able, because obviously I needed to prep and stuff. So then we were going to do Thursday, however, Trey then couldn't do Thursday, and so it was getting like very last minute, because Thursday was technically the last full day I could really do. So then I said, okay, I will be able to do Monday, if the mods allowed it, and I could get up at 6 a.m. my time, as Trey finished work around that time. However, when I got back from London on the Sunday, my train got delayed, and therefore I did not get as much sleep. I didn't wind down as quick as I wanted to, and I ended up just completely sleeping through my alarm that was set for 6. Therefore, Trey and I could not battle, and you know, we was talking throughout the day. We had really good communication, Trey and I. Like I say, Trey's a really solid guy. I love speaking to him. We've been chatting a lot recently as well. Yeah, so we've been communicating all throughout Monday. And we had figured out a time that we could actually do after work. After I finished work on Monday, we could have done like 6 p.m. my time and get this battle done on Wi-Fi. Then the playoff contentions for the next round would have been sorted, done, finished. But the mods decided that it was just too late. And, you know, I completely respect that decision. This decision got made, I think, like 3:30, 4 o'clock my time, and we was going to battle like a couple of hours after that. So in a weird way, it felt a little bit sour because, you know, it was only a couple of hours time, but the mods, you know, they didn't allow extensions. They really wanted kind of a strict lineup, a strict playoffs, which is fair. At the end of the day, no one else got an extension. Why should we? I've not got any gripe against any of the mods or anything like that. I understand you've got a league to run. I get it. Obviously, with it being a couple of hours apart, it is a little bit sour. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that. But like I say, no ill will against anyone. I said this in the chat and I'll say it again. UNPL has been one of the most fun seasons I've had in draft. Full start period. So, and you know, it's been ran beautifully. It's been a really nice league to play in. So this doesn't damper anything. I mean, a little bit, obviously. But anyway, getting to the nitty gritty of things, like I say, absolutely nothing towards the mods. They're doing their job, then they're doing it brilliantly. So I can't complain about that. They have done the entire season. So basically, it got to the time and it was like, right, are you both forfeiting? Is one of you forfeiting? What's the plan? Because basically, I obviously didn't show up to the 6 a.m. one. Trey couldn't do like earlier in the week. So it was kind of like, what do we do? I said to Trey, take the win, because I didn't show up. I didn't show up to the 6 a.m. time that I should have. And I was a bit, obviously, with the whole thing going on, I was just like, you know what, Trey, like, you take it. It's not a huge deal. But Trey's argument was the season that we've just had, and yeah, he really wanted me to have it. So in the end, it went down to Mod's decision, and they decided to give me the win over Trey, as Trey really like pushed for me to get it. I pushed for him to get it too. But yeah, so the Mods decided overall that it was best for me to take the win for this week, which really sucks. I really wanted to battle Trey. However, we decided, you know what? We're not going to end our season like that. We're not going to have our round one playoffs go like that. So we decided to play on Showdown as a last minute sort of decision. This did not matter towards the result. I was always going to advance in the end, which again is unfortunate, because if I lose, I'd feel so bad. But we're going to have a little game. We've got our team set up. You saw the team builder. You know what I'm bringing. So I'm going to let you guys watch this match. I'm going to go through it with you. And we're going to have a game. We're not going to end round one of playoffs like that, because it's just ain't right. Just ain't right. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we? We see the 6 that Trey's brought. He has brought the Terapagos, brought the Pull, brought the MUNKIDORI, Azu, Mamo, Thwacky. Thwacky was the only thing that I was kind of like not surprised to see. I've got a Paladin. Kind of makes sense. But I kind of expected Heatran in that slot, to be honest with you. Maybe like a Pasho Heatran with Willow. I think that would have been decent into my team, or obviously Spadef. Yeah, but I can see why I didn't bring Heatran. I've got a Sneasler, I've got Tinglu, I've got Palafin. It makes sense why I didn't bring it. But yeah, so after all this, we're gonna head into this game. Before we get into it, I just want to say, Trey, you're the man. That's all I want to say. So let's hop into this, shall we? We're gonna play, and I'm going to lead with Palafin as Trey leads with Terapagos. Now, this is terrifying for me. A very terrifying lead. But I see it as a chance to get a flip off, which is huge. I get to break its Terra Shell, and that's really solid for my team. So that's exactly what I'm going to go for. I know I outspeed any Terapagos unless it's Scarfed. We do see the Terra Shell go off, and it does 8%. As we bring in our Tinglu, this was obviously the plan all along. Get the eject button off, and then kind of get some more offensive momentum from there. We see that Trey goes for the Calm Mind straight away, and I'm crapping myself at this point. We see the Terra Starstorm come out. Jet button pops, and so does Trey's Shell Bell. And I'm there like, huh? Shellbell? Wild tech. So good by Trey. However, it puts him at 99% just out of Terra Shell range. Therefore, I can bring in my Sneasler and I know his item now. I can click CC for free. In comes the Monkidori and it takes 24%, which is huge damage to get off here. I'm going to go right into my Tinglu. It's a very safe option for this Monkidori. Obviously, I've been chipped a lot anyway. Goes to the parting shot, which is a nice play, and brings in the Thwackey. But I get a bit of health back from the grassy terrain, so I'm not complaining. We go out into Fori, which is a decent answer to this. And man goes for a sub, so you know what's coming, sub seed. But I get off my Spike, which is going to be big for this endgame. And then we see the knockoff come out for the Thwackey. So we are going to lose our leftovers. However, I'm going to go for the body press, and we see it's a very defensive Thwackey. So here, as Trey goes for another knockoff, I'm going to go for the spin, break the sub, get the seeds off me, which is huge. And we keep our Spike, and we're getting health back from the terrain, which is lovely. So on this next turn, I am going to vault, as Trey goes out into Terapagos, so I get my Sneasler back in. Now, CC is such a free play here. So I debated on whether to click Diaclaw, Shadow Claw, or CC. However, with the Spike up and seeing that Monkidori took that 24%, I felt CC was overall just a really solid play. I could see if Pult was boots, if you wanted to go out into that. I could see if it's lefties. Monkidori obviously will take the spikes and then the CC. So as much as I was very close to clicking Shadow Claw specifically, expecting the Pult to come in, I felt I got a lot more out of this turn if he stayed in, over predicted, and gave me Terapagos, which is exactly what's going to happen. So Trey loses Terapagos, and that is big for my team, I can't lie to you. In comes Monkidori next. I am going to go out into Tinglu. Again, a really solid pivot for this mon. As he goes for the parting shot again, and brings out Azu. I am terrified. I don't know what Azu set this is. Could be banded, and you know, with Fori being chipped so much already, this is a scary mon and can potentially just pick up a kill right now. So is going to go for the play rough, and we actually do live, showing that he's not banded, and I get my memento off on this. I felt like Tinglu overall, it was chipped already, like a massive amount. Obviously, it's good for Monkidori, but I think, I still got Fori, and I've still got quite a lot of offensive answers for the Monkidori, so I'm not too stressed about that mon in the end game, especially with it being so chipped. Palafin could potentially just pick it off with a Jet Punch. So I feel like we're getting very close to the late game already, to be honest with you. And now I get to bring in my Braviary, click Terra Flying, Hurricane, and get one, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Brings in the Monkidori and dies to the Hurricane. Amazing. In comes Mamoswine next. I am obviously going to go out into my Fortress. It's my safest play, as in comes the Ice Cold Crash doing 11%, which is not a lot at all, showing me he's not banded, not boosting item or anything. I go for the body press here. At the end of the day, I need the chip on the Mamoswine. So, and we see the leftovers on the pull, and then we see the sub. The sub Willow set is here as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. We get the Alluring Voice off, and we do a massive 62% going through the sub, which is massive. Trey's going to go for the U-turn, taking the Rocky Helmet chip too. And now pull is a non-factor to this game, as I get another Alluring Voice on this Azu, which is massive. Here, I can freely sack my Wigglytuff, as he's going to click Liquidation, pick up the kill, but going to get some Helmet chip. Goes for the Jet for the extra damage on my Sneasler. I get my Diaclaw off, and that is really nice. Next up here, I don't know what kind of Mamo set this is still, and I'm not going to risk it. I am just going to go right onto my Fori on the Ice Shard. So looking back at these series of plays, I probably could have just clicked Fake Out and won from there. But I didn't know what kind of Mamoswine set this was. I didn't know if it was Choppel. I don't know anything about this set currently. So I didn't want to risk this just yet. I wanted to make sure, Sneaser's in a position where it can just win now, And I guess I have the answers for Thwackey anyway, so maybe I could have clicked Fake Out. But I just don't want to risk. It's round one of playoffs, right? So obviously the game doesn't matter, but, Plays High School Crash, does 39. Earthquake then does 23%, showing he's not a very offensive Mamoswine at all. And yeah, going to do another 16%. In comes the Sneasler. We click the normal gem Fake Out, get the Unburden boost. We knock out Mamoswine. In comes Thwackey. And we know it's a defensive Thwackey, so this Mon has a chance to just live this Diaclaw, which absolutely is going to tank. But another Glide does not kill me. I get to go for Diaclaw again. No crit on the Glide either, which is nice. Down goes Thwackey. Pult's going to die to Spikes, and we are going to pick up the win versus Treyunt. Yeah, very offensive game, very wild. A lot was going on, but yeah, I just want to say, again, GG's to Trey. Obviously not exactly the game we wanted, with it being round 1 of playoffs, but I'm so glad that we was able to get some sort of result, you know? Obviously this is not the result that could have happened. You know, Wi-Fi is a very different ball game. It's 100% very different. It adds a lot more intensity, I feel. So I don't know if this game would have gone the same, but we kind of got a kind of gauge of what was going to happen. Trey was also in a rush when we did this game. We just kind of fired it out as quick as possible. So, you know, maybe without that, it would have gone differently. That Terapco set was very scary for my team. So it easily could have gone either way. But I do think I had the team versus these 6 to kind of pull this off. But yeah, again, GG's to Trey. I'm really sorry like all this happened. It's just the 1 week and the 1 weekend that I'm really busy, and we just couldn't line up properly this week. But you know, it's one of those things. Life is life, right? But we are going to move on to round 2 of playoffs. We do know our opponent, and that is going to be Mr. TJP, who has been wanting revenge on us since the Dustclops shenanigans in the early season. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been DarudeLeafStorm, and I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.